Hello, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rant. Today's rant is going to be titled Smartphone Addiction because, we live in a world now where everyone has a smartphone and it can feel as if, sometimes we are addicted to these devices, but I think it really depends on your definition of addiction because every single person tends to define words differently. So, what my definition of addiction is would be completely different than the person down the street with what their definition of addiction would be. So, it's really important to try to get and understand definitions of words when you talk to people, but pretty much addiction is like you need it or you can't function without it. And that may be true, but when it comes to smartphones, in the era that we live in, smartphones are kind of needed. Phones are actually very essential in the world we live in today, where everything that you do is on a phone. Like everything that you do is online, paying bills is online. Sometimes college courses can be online. Social media is online, like connecting with your family is online. Your banking is online. Everything is online. And, like receiving payments through banking apps, like direct deposits using like Cash App or Venmo or PayPal, that's online. There's so many different things that we use our smartphones for, and we use them for daily things. And, they're kind of a need, to survive in the modern world. Having a smartphone is a very good thing. But I really think it depends on a balance, because anything can be bad if you have too much of it. And smartphones are no different, I think smartphones tend to be an issue when you're on your smartphone, 10 to 15 hours a day watching YouTube and watching videos. And, usually it becomes a problem when you're not getting your daily, tasks done. Like you're not getting your chores done, you're not doing certain things, it's interfering with your everyday life. That's when you know you have a problem. But, if you work your regular job, you have your life and, you go on social media for a couple of hours, you watch some YouTube and you go to your job and you just do your daily tasks and it doesn't really affect you, then I don't really think that's an addiction. An addiction is when it interferes with your everyday life. And, smartphones are becoming part of our everyday life. They're really integrating into our lives and it's becoming part of us. And, I always hear people talk about smartphones and how we're addicted to them and stuff like that. But everything that you can think of is online now. Everything you can do on your phone, it's insane. And it's really becoming part of who we are as people and how we communicate with each other. And they're actually very essential if you think about it. You can, obviously you can go out and you can, talk to people in person and meet people and stuff like that and have in-person communication. But phones let you do so much stuff. And, people will say people need to go outside more. They need to be more social. They need to meet people in real life. They need to go out and socialize. Like when they talk about dating apps, they'll say you need to go outside more. But cell phones do so much stuff. And again, I think it's about a balance, And if someone just, like I said, if someone just goes on their phone and, it doesn't affect their life, it doesn't affect them going to their job, it doesn't affect their relationship, they're just use their phone normally, then I don't see a problem with it. But, everyone defines it differently and everyone has their own opinion on this subject, but I don't think it's a problem. And, the phone does so many different things now and it's becoming part of our life. And it's really hard to survive without a phone because there's so much stuff that it does. But I pretty much said everything I wanted to say in this video, so I'm going to wrap it up. But, yeah, social media can definitely be bad if you're on it too much. And, you know, having like a smartphone, obviously you're going to be on social media, but, it just depends on how much you use it. It depends, like, you can fucking take too much of a medicine and it's bad for you. It all depends on how much you use it, because any medicine that you use too much of is a poison, just as anything else. It depends on how much you use it, and it depends on moderation. So I think, smartphones are just like anything else. It just depends on, like I said, how much you use it. But anyways, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Signing out, guys. Have a good one. Goodbye.